Hi dolls! So today we're going to do a different video from what I normally do. If it isn't already clear, I am a very big Pokemon fan. Pokemon is probably my favorite thing ever besides like obvious stuff like my family and friends. I love it so much, and I want to talk about my thoughts on the newest Pokemon movie, Pokemon I Choose You, which is the 20th feature-length Pokemon film. This is definitely going to have spoilers in it, so if you don't want to be spoiled on the Pokemon movie, then I would maybe not watch this video, although I will try to warn when I am going to throw out a kind of major spoiler. The initial previews basically gave the impression that it was going to be a retelling of the first few episodes of the Pokemon series, which is actually only half true. It does start off like the Pokemon anime, but it actually is more of a spin-off than a straight retelling, which I don't think a lot of people knew going in, and I think that may have had an effect on why they didn't like it. We actually get through the first episode really quickly when Ash wakes up and goes to pick out his Pokemon and ends up with Pikachu, who is of course a jerk at first. And then after we get through the first episode and Ash and Pikachu are friends, we have the classic Ho-Oh sighting that does happen in the anime, but then is never touched upon again. And we're like, that time Ash saw Ho-Oh and then nothing happened. Only this time, Ho-Oh bestows upon Ash the Rainbow Wing, which I think is cool because that's an actual in-game item. But there's a lore connected to it, meaning that whoever holds the Rainbow Wing is destined to be the Rainbow Hero. So Ash teams up with two other trainers and they go on a quest to find Ho-Oh, and that is the main plot line for the movie. The other thing that I don't think people knew going in was Misty and Brock are not in the movie at all, which I knew when I went to the theater to see it. I already knew that they weren't going to be in it, and that was another thing I did notice online that a lot of people had a problem with, and they didn't realize that Misty and Brock weren't going to be in it. It's actually two new companions, Verity and Sorrel. I did not hate them. I actually thought they were pretty good companions as far as Pokemon companions go. Verity, it has a very kind of Misty-like personality, but I think she still was differentiated enough that she wasn't basically just a Misty knockoff. And she didn't irritate me to no end like Dawn and Iris. I can't stand Dawn from Diamond and Pearl or Iris from Black and White. I don't like them at all. I love all of the other Pokegirls. Serena is my favorite, and I did not think Verity was bad. And Sorrel I actually really liked. He's a very serious, dry, smart character, which I love those types of characters, and his backstory was great and pretty surprising for a Pokemon movie. This is definitely going to be a spoiler, but there's a point in the movie where Sorrel says that for a very long time he was afraid to get close to Pokemon because when he was a child, he was stranded in the snow, and his childhood Pokemon, Luxray, came to protect him and keep him warm, but in doing so, froze to death itself. And you actually see adults pull child Sorrel away from Luxray's body. I think this is one of the first times in a Pokemon movie where you're like, that's a dead Pokemon body. Like, a Pokemon died, and we're seeing its body. So that's my thoughts on the companions. The next point I want to make in my trusty little notebook is about Team Rocket, which is that they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing except appear because they were like, oh, this is a nostalgic flashback Pokemon movie, so we have to just like fit Team Rocket in somewhere. But they did less in this movie than they have in previous movies, like ever. I think this is the least they've ever done in a movie. And they do add some other nostalgic moments to the movie, such as the episode where Charmander is abandoned and Ash finds him, and of course, Bye Bye Butterfree, which is a classic Pokemon episode. They are obviously done a little bit differently and a little bit quicker because it is just an hour-and-a-half movie that is trying to fit in nostalgic bits as well as new stuff. But the thing that was interesting to me is that the trainer that abandons Charmander actually ends up playing a role as the main antagonist in the movie. His name is Cross, and he is obviously a giant jerk. At the end, he kind of has a moment where he realizes the things he's done and kind of redeems himself, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, well, you also abandoned Charmander and kicked it. There is a point in the movie where he kicks Charmander, so my sympathy level for him, even after his redeemment, is real low. Real low. And then I think there's two more points I want to talk about. I hope this isn't coming across like me basically just summarizing the movie for you. I'm trying to really like give my opinion on stuff. But the next thing I want to talk about is Marshadow, which is the new legendary in the movie, and it's like one of the tiny legendaries like Celebi, Jirachi, Mew, Manaphy. But the thing that was strange to me is that it really doesn't play a huge role. All of those aforementioned tiny legendaries are actually kind of the main focus of their movies, but Marshadow only appears in little blips until the very, very end, when he kind of makes everything real bad. His basic role is to be a guide for the rainbow hero, and whenever the colors go out of the rainbow wing, Marshadow is supposed to set everything right again, but then Marshadow gets really angry at the end and ends up attacking all of the humans. So yeah, that does happen, but I just didn't feel like Marshadow was given enough screen time for me to fully develop an opinion. But at the same time, Marshadow was not the point of this movie, so I kind of understand why they did that. And now, the final thing I want to talk about is the thing that the whole internet was talking about after the movie came out, and that is Pikachu speaking English words. Obviously, this part is going to be very spoilery, but at the end of the movie, there is a point where Marshadow's pissed and is attacking all of the human characters, and Ash and Pikachu are both extremely injured, and Ash is begging Pikachu to get into its Pokeball so that it will be protected. And he keeps asking, like, why won't you get into your Pokeball? And Pikachu says, in English,
"It's because
What the fuck?
I always want to be with you."
I actually thought it was the sweetest thing ever, and I was crying at this point again, mainly because I did not interpret it as Pikachu actually speaking English. I interpreted it as Ash hearing it in his head. At this point, Ash is extremely injured and is kind of having an out-of-body experience. And as we already know, Ash and Pikachu have had a close bond for the 20-some years they've been in existence, and kind of can already understand each other anyway throughout the anime. Like, there's multiple times where it's clear Ash and Pikachu understand each other. And to me, it was just like them translating what Pikachu said for us, the audience. I do not think Pikachu actually suddenly spoke English. I really don't. That is my opinion on the whole Pikachu speaking English thing. And I think them adding it where they did added something to the scene, because the scene is very reminiscent of Pokemon the first movie when Ash turns to stone. And to me, this added something unexpected and different, something nobody thought was gonna come, and I really liked it. Would I be freaking angry if Pikachu just suddenly started speaking English all the time? Yes, absolutely. That would be so wrong. But because I don't actually think Pikachu really spoke English, I really think that adding that line just added something so sweet to the moment. I really liked it. And then, to further that scene, when Ash dies, there is a point when, I mean, I cry during Pokemon the first movie when Pikachu cries, but in this movie, Pikachu, like, screams in a way where, like, I I feel like I can tangibly feel Pikachu's anguish, and I was sitting in the theater like freaking out. I can't. Pikachu crying is like the saddest thing to me, and I'm literally tearing up right now because I'm... Why does Pokemon do this to me? Okay, I'm fine. I know you're all judging me right now, but we're gonna move on. So that's basically the last main scene of the movie, and obviously Ash doesn't really die. He comes back through magical means, and everything ends up fine. They calm down Marshadow. Ho-Oh comes and is like, you know, chill the frick out, guys. And everything ends up hunky-dory. So that is both a very short summary and my thoughts on Pokemon the movie, I Choose You. I also want to state that the song at the end of the movie called I Choose You is beautiful. It sounds like a love song, and I think I've determined that I'm like, that needs to be my wedding song, because you don't know it's about Pokemon unless you know Pokemon. So like, nobody will know. Everybody will think it's a cute love song, and I'll be like, I'm a friggin' nerd. It is sung by Haven Paschal. Paschal? I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Who is the voice of Serena in X and Y, and like I said at the beginning of this video, Serena is my absolute favorite Pokemon girl, and is probably one of my favorite Pokemon anime characters. Am I the only Pokemon fan who like genuinely loves the anime? I really like the anime. Huge guilty pleasure of mine. I love it. But those are my thoughts on Pokemon the movie, I Choose You, which I already said. If you do enjoy this type of chit-chatty video, let me know. And if you don't, also let me know, and I won't do it again. So, I'm gonna see you next time. Until then, stay glamorous and stay geeky. Bye.